Hello, and welcome to the
Lux
podcast, where we talk about anything and everything, past and present, morally and unmorally correct, and the seeing of both political sides. My name is Kevin Bartko, some may call me Kev Dogs, and this is...
My name is Peter Pocztarski, some call me Piotr, and we are your host.
Thank you for joining in with us on whatever day you're listening to us, whatever. So basically, this episode alone is just going to be mainly just the intro, basically why we're doing this, what made us do this, what we plan to do.
Our backgrounds.
We're going to explain who we are, what we like to do. Just get you guys interested in who we are as people.
Yeah.
And basically
what we're trying to do.
Expect somewhat, basically. That's what I'm trying to think of, at least. So let's start this off the rip. Basically, by the way, I do like to say basically a lot. If you couldn't tell already, I already probably said it maybe 6 times already. It's been what? Fucking a minute? Okay. So, for me, I love to travel. There will be some episodes based upon all those traveling things.
Travel
hacks. I have
hacks.
been to a good amount of places, I won't lie.
You did.
Basically, as I said again, whatever. Okay, so as I said, like, I like to travel. I'm out of like the friend group that we do have, I'm probably the most well-versed traveler, I want to say.
No, you've been
like
places.
not trying to gloat or anything.
Yeah.
I've been to a decent amount of places. I'm somewhat of an extrovert. Peter may disagree with that, but like in my own opinion,
I don't.
It depends on the day for me, at least. It depends on the day. It depends on... That will depend on whether like I'll actually go out and end up talking to people.
Yeah.
If I'm not feeling it for that day, okay, I'm just gonna stay and be an introvert. I'm not gonna talk to anyone. For me, honestly, I feel like you can switch in between an introvert versus extrovert, at least for me. I love to learn about people. You guys will come to find that within the coming episodes, obviously. Just the way that I am, anyone and everyone. I just love to learn the diverse backgrounds, the diversity between everyone and everyone, all their experiences, everything in between, basically, like how you grew up, who you are as a single person. Anything that you can say, I am generally there to listen. That's at least how I am. And overall, honestly, I just love to have a great time. That's just who I am.
Always a great time.
Always a great time, especially between me and you,
yeah.
Peter, 100%. Please be aware, though, that me and Peter, that's why we sometimes call him Piotrek.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I'll reference him as, but we are both Polish, and between all of these episodes going forward from
there
now
might be
to
some
the end of
Polish
this
in
podcast, hopefully there is never no end.
Yeah.
But there will be Polish words possibly spoken between each episode. If you want to know, my bad, I'm sorry. But if you do want to know what these Polish words that we're talking about, either we might add it towards the end, or easily could just probably Google
Google,
everything.
Yeah.
You'll find them pretty easily because most people already know what these words are. And so, Peter, who are you? What do you like to do?
All right. So my background, I work at a Freightliner dealership. If you guys aren't aware, it's a dealership that most trucks in America are Freightliners. So I work on semi-trucks, burner vans, you name it. We do it all. I do side work at the house. I went to school to Lincoln Tech. I went for a diesel mechanic. So I learned all about hydraulics and welding, everything diesel related. That's basically my background. So I didn't go to a college, but if you want to call it a college, it was a college.
I would it's not technically college, but it is a trade school.
It is
a type of school.
It's a trade. You finish school faster. I mean, school in general, I feel like it might be the same price range, but
I feel like it might be cheaper, honestly. I'm pretty sure it is cheaper.
I don't know.
So what are your, like, let's just say current to somewhat past within the past, I want to say past few months. Yeah. What are your experiences? What have you done? What has happened to you?
So in general, my hobbies all around are anything that has to do with outdoors. I feel like that's me and you.
100%.
Related. That's like us. Like anything that has to do with going outside, that's us. If it's quadding, dirt biking, I have a street bike outside, hunting, fishing, anything that has to do outside, hiking,
cliff jumping,
we find our prime spots.
We have found our prime spots.
Yeah, we'll go into it more in different episodes. If you guys aren't aware, we're both from Dirty Jersey, New Jersey, specifically North Jersey.
Mainly, yes.
So that's our area, and basically all we do is we explore the great outdoors.
We do. Honestly, we do.
From coast to coast.
I don't know about you, but mainly for me, I generally love greenery type of natures. Like, but then again, we can talk about this a little bit later.
I'm a mix.
You're a mix.
I'm
okay,
a mix.
so
I love everything.
We'll get into another story, possibly maybe even in this episode, maybe even another one,
on,
whatever.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about one of our recent trips that we did just go on, and basically that kind of differs us, I guess. I did think it was nice to a certain extent, but
it wasn't your thing.
It wasn't my thing for me.
But it was nice. It was amazing.
It was amazing. It was amazing. It was nice. But to me, for the extent of other places that I've been to, is nowhere near as nice.
Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about one of the major things that has occurred in your life, or do you not want to talk about that at all? Actually,
I mean, I can. Because we're outdoorsy people. Like, some people get ticks in specific.
I've gotten multiple in my life.
I know, but like, so ticks some carry a thing called Lyme disease and some don't. I specifically have gotten Lyme disease, and some people got it, cured it, figured it out right away. They spotted a tick, they went to the hospital, everything was done, no issues. I haven't realized mine, and you get symptoms from like 7 to 21 days. So I got Bell palsy, which half my face, my right side of my face was paralyzed, basically, like simplified terms. So we went out, I got a tick, I didn't know, I got Bell palsy, my face was paralyzed, and basically I was disabled. Like, I couldn't do anything.
He's faking it, by the way.
Yo, no, I'm not faking.
No,
I'm doing it way better. So
yeah.
my neurologist said that we're like 50% there to like full recovery.
I honestly believe it's closer to 100.
Well, I feel like it's closer to 100. Like, I do. But my eyesight in my right eye is a lot weaker. But besides that, I feel like I'm getting there. I just have to adapt to it. Like, do all these exercises, whatever. But we could talk about that.
You'll get there one day, 100%.
Yeah,
but
no,
honestly, even from straight from the get-go, I know, yes, everyone's noticed a physical appearance, but no one has ever noticed a mentality difference.
My head was always in the game. Yeah,
you have always been, and will probably always be one of the best people that anyone could have ever known.
Yeah,
like I don't know if you know this, but basically, like, I've told this to so many other people.
It always comes to me. It does. Like,
it always does.
And
I'm coming to you, but that doesn't matter. But still, like, every single time I meet a new person, I'll be like, and they know a good amount of, like, my friend group. I'll be like, oh, do you know
this
Piotr or Peter Pocztarski?
And
they'd be like, oh, like, no, I don't. Whatever. But like, I've heard of him. And like, honestly, if you were to ever meet him in real life, like besides actually, like, over video or anything like that, he is genuinely the nicest, the best person to have in any situation. Anything that you're in, he will generally be there. He generally deserves the world, no matter what.
Always be there.
No matter what, he will always be there for anyone and everything.
Anyone.
Even if you, I don't know, this is more something that you can answer though. Let's just say you just met someone, okay? You had a good time once with them, whatever.
Yeah.
And they ask you for a little bit of help. What would you do?
I would help them. I'm not that type of person. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I went to ShopRite the other day. Yesterday, I went to ShopRite. Lady's tire was flat. Actually, an older gentleman's tire was flat, but a lady was actually helping him take the flat off the car in the ShopRite parking lot. And I'm like, I gotta go help out. Dude, I have to. Like, I feel so bad. I'm like, especially a woman helping an older gentleman. I'm
obviously, yes.
I'm like, okay, like, if they know what they're doing, yes. And she did know what she was doing, but like, the wheel was seized to the hub. She couldn't get the wheel off after getting all the bolts out.
By the way, seized means like
it's stuck.
Without like actually having power tools to take it off, you generally won't be able to take it off, by the way.
So we literally like kicked that thing off, took it off, put the spare on, and on the way it goes. Like,
damn. Okay, I didn't even know this.
But like that's just random. Like, was it as like Samaritan, right? It's like a random Samaritan act of kindness, right? Like, I'm not asking for anything in return. Like, I don't care. I literally went to ShopRite to buy my cousin flowers for her birthday. That was literally it.
Where are my flowers? Hold on. Where are my flowers?
Next episode, I got you. Next episode, I got you. No, literally, so I went, and that was it. Like, but that's just the type of person I am. I feel like I would do that to anyone.
I could definitely see you doing it to, honestly, anyone and everyone.
Like, it doesn't even have to be like car related. It could be anything. Like, if you need help, I'll come help you. Like, I don't care where you're at in the world, honestly.
No, we're already getting off the topic already. Yeah. This is been maybe 5 minutes already of this video. Basically, you can see what we're talking about as the fact that he is honestly one of the best people you will ever meet in your entire life. Like, he generally deserves the world. Even as I said before, I wish I could give him anything and everything.
You deserve the world. You deserve the world.
Stop talking. No. He is honestly behind my parents, obviously, towards the middle of like my actual in immediate family. He is honestly right there.
I'm in the list.
He's right there. He's in, honestly,
I'm happy to hear that.
Top 3, top 4.
I'm happy to hear that.
Top 3, top 4.
I really am happy to hear that.
No matter what, he's always gonna say. Honestly, no, you're gonna stay at number 3. You're gonna stay at number 3, right above my brothers.
Top 3.
Right above my brothers. Obviously, no matter what, my parents are always giving me number 1, number 2. I'm not gonna rate them.
Yeah,
you know,
no, but like, if you know me, I'm there for everyone.
Exactly. See, that's why you are generally the best person of all time. Generally.
No matter what. But like, I feel like both you and I, like, we vibe the same.
We do.
We are literally the same person in a different body.
I feel like we're like on the same wavelength.
Waveband, anything.
Same vibe.
Same vibe.
And
energy.
In today's terms,
everything.
vocabulary is gonna be same vibe, honestly.
Everything.
But like, generally, what's it called? So we're gonna get right over to it. So what made us actually do this? Basically, I'm gonna start it off. So about, what was it? A week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, right, at this point.
Yeah.
I went onto a podcast, like not up to like this standard, but it was still very good based off of what they had. Honestly, it was amazing. I went over one of my friends. His name is Paul Konratovich.
Great podcast.
And they have their own podcast called Too Deep, the number 2, and Too Deep. Basically, I think is that on Instagram? It should be that, basically. Yeah.
You can find them on Spotify.
You can find them on Spotify. They have their own podcast, and Paul invited me to go on it. I was just like, okay, why not? Like, I have nothing better to do. We're gonna I want to try it out at least once in my life. Might as well. You only live once,
dude. Lifetime.
And I went on it, and we had a great conversation. Conversation was about serial killers. You could search them up, like as I said, like on Spotify, Instagram. You'll see the same exact thing. We talked about serial killers. We talked about the Gabby case. That's somewhat like
that was relevant case.
That's relevant. Yeah, that's what I talked about.
That blew up quick.
Relevant, and basically that's what we talked about for like a solid hour and 15 minutes. And in that hour and 15 minutes was honestly a amazing time. Amazing.
It's an atmosphere.
And that gave me the idea to actually like possibly start this up with one of my other friends. So it's just like, okay, I was thinking about it. I was just like, I have a good, like, I'm not going to say I have a very big, we technically do have a very big group of people.
Our friend group is big.
Our friend group is very big, but to the amount of people that I actually know that I can have a very good conversation, hold a conversation, at least up to this standard for a podcast, there is honestly only a handful of names, less than a handful of names, and number 1 at the list would honestly be Piotr, whatever you want to call him. And that's when, right after that day, actually, I believe it might have been the next day, or might have been that same exact night as well, I ended up texting Peter, just like, hey, you want to start a podcast? He's just like, why not?
Why not? I'm always down for everything,
exactly. Bro. Can you talk about how basically months prior you wanted to possibly even start one?
So my plan was I wanted to start a podcast like a few months back during COVID. I felt like, you know, the world was in such a weird place, whatever. I'm like, this is honestly the best time to do it. And I feel like I didn't know my partner's situation or anything. Like, I'm like, I don't know who I'd go on with, but even if it was alone, I would do it. Like, that was my plan.
Yeah, obviously.
But me,
you could do it on your own if you really wanted to.
During the whole COVID situation, I worked every single day except for a day. Like, I was never out of work.
Really?
Yeah, because we're essential.
Weekends off.
No, we're essential. Well, yeah, weekends off, but like we're essential workers, and I would literally work 6 to 6 or like 6 to 10. We close at 10 o'clock at night. We open up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I didn't even know this, by the way.
Yeah, and I would work nonstop, like 65 hours, 70 hours a week, 5 days. And I'm like, yo, that's ridiculous. And
that is actually stupid. I'm not gonna lie.
And I wanted to start a podcast, and I'm like, I can do it. It would be the best time. How everything's falling, but I'm like, I don't know if I should, because I wanted to do it alone, like that to begin with. Like,
you should have. Honestly,
this was months back, but I'm like, I don't think I could do this and this at the same. I came back at work. I was beat, bro. I was beat.
I don't blame you, honestly, for the work that you do.
Yeah.
That's a lot, bro. It's a lot harder compared to what I actually do.
Well, yeah, but like to me, work is work. No matter, some people are used to this level of work, this level of work. To me, work is work.
Yes.
Like, you might be exhausted from doing this. I might be exhausted from doing that, but we're both exhausted at the end of the day.
100%.
But yeah, so I wanted to do it alone, but you hit me up, and I'm like, yo, Kevin and I, we could vibe.
Definitely.
Like, we could vibe. Like, we get along very great. We've been friends for what? Right now, for like probably 5 years?
Was it 5 years already?
5 or 6 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta think about this. Because, okay, when we first met, I know for a fact that I was riding a BMX bike. Was it BMX or might have been even a mountain bike?
I think it was a mountain bike.
I don't know which one, but it was one of those two, basically. And I actually ended up meeting Peter through one of my cousins. His name's Tommy. And at that time, it was me, my cousin Tommy, and I believe maybe 2 or 3 other people as well.
Yeah, there's a few other people.
And basically, we ended up riding our bikes across town up to a whole entire. Was it? I don't even know.
No, it was the same town. It was just far.
Okay, yeah. just the fact that it is a big.
It was like a few miles away. Yeah,
it's maybe like 4 miles away. And there's this one area basically we like to call dirt jumps.
Dirt jumps.
It's right behind this one, I think, elementary school. I'm pretty sure it is elementary school.
It was a school, yeah.
And in that one area for like dirt, not dirt bikes, but like regular BMX bikes or mountain bikes. We had these like jumps set up, basically you could do tricks off them and everything like that.
Yeah.
But since this was during the summertime, all the dirt was basically almost sand to the point basically where everything's falling apart. It's all dry.
It's dry. Yeah, the heat.
And so my cousin Tommy ended up calling up Peter because Peter actually had a water pump.
Yeah.
And we had a river right next to like the area that we were doing all these dirt jumps and everything. And Peter ended up coming with his, what was it, Genesis or was it the Subaru?
No, it was the Gen.
It was the Genesis.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point he had a regular Genesis and he ended up bringing it. And so that was like the first time I ever actually met Peter.
Yeah.
And after that, for like a while, I never really talked to him or anything like that. But then once I started getting I started seeing Peter a lot more and getting closer with him, we honestly just clicked. No matter what. Like, how old are you actually?
I'm 24.
You're 24? Okay, yeah. I'm 20.
Yeah.
There's 4-year difference.
4-year difference.
But so that does not matter.
You were like a freshman when I was a senior.
Exactly. And see, it doesn't matter. It depends on the mindset of everyone altogether.
It's the mindset.
Exactly. That's all it is.
Yeah.
If you have the same mindset, have the same, like as we're saying, vibe wavelength as the other person, no matter what the age is, you guys will genuinely click.
Yeah.
That's why. Like,
no, just go out there. You can meet so much people. Like, you will be mind blown.
Even for my grandparents, like, even though this is like a different type of relationship, but for my grandparents, from both my grandma and grandpa, rest in peace to him, but I believe they were almost 10 years apart or maybe even more. But still, it doesn't matter. As long as you are on the same wavelength as them.
Yeah, you're fine.
Like a wavelength as each other.
Yeah.
You guys will generally be the best friends of all time, no matter what. You guys...
All time.
It doesn't matter about age after that.
No, you're not wrong. Like, I feel like right now, like, in our relationship, we're on the same wavelength, wave band, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like with years to come, we are both bringing each other up.
100%.
We're all leveling up at the same time.
Yes.
Like we both are leveling up. So no matter what, I feel like honestly, our friendship, I feel like it will never end. Even if it's over some stupid shit, it will never end. Like there's no way, bro.
Generally, every single time I do actually end up texting Peter, every single time, no matter what, each of one of us has, well, either I might or he might or might be both at the same exact time. We both have some type of idea to help ourselves grow in a certain sense, no matter what. In one aspect of our lives, no matter what, we will genuinely have a certain idea to help us grow, to do what we genuinely want to do.
What we want to do, yeah.
For me, like, my motto in life is between two things. Two different things, basically. I'm sorry. My words just don't want to come out. It's either you only live once, YOLO, obviously, even though what is it? It's not expired, but it's like such a... So it's a term that was
outdated.
Outdated. That's
it's outdated.
Yes, it was an outdated term, but I still live by it. I live by it no matter what. Because you generally only live once, or it is what it is. Those are my two different terms. It is what it is. Okay, if something bad happens, you're just like, okay, whatever. You live through it. But
that's your like mentality. That's what you got through.
That's exactly how my mentality is. How would your mentality? How would you explain your mentality at least?
Mine. I don't know. We're like. So we could talk about like introverts and extroverts. I don't know if we want to leave that to a different episode.
Let's leave that to a different episode.
All right. So like my mentality, basically, like you do only live once. I don't like saying YOLO because I feel like that's so slang. I feel like if you say it fully.
I mean, do you ever hear me say YOLO? No.
No.
But the thing is, I'm always thinking it.
But the way like we live by, like, dude, like the things we do, like most insane shit, like.
It's stupid the amount of crazy things we actually do.
It's stupid, but like, it really is. You only live once, bro.
That's
like after this whole situation I've gone through, like with my belt palsy and shit. Like, you honestly only live once, bro. You have to experience your life to the fullest, no matter what it is, no matter what. So like right now, like we do anything. Like Kevin hits me up, or like I hit him up. Like, all right, let's go here, let's go here, let's go here, and we go and we do it. That's it.
Might as well.
Like, your brother hit me up, and we're like, oh, you want to go to Utah? I'm like, all right, let's go to Utah. Like, it was the most random event, but we went and we did it.
Exactly. And that's when me and my other brother, because I have two brothers, by the way, me and my other brother, and then also his friend, actually ended up flying out to them for the weekend.
Yeah, they joined us on a road trip.
We're just, why not? That road trip was actually to where?
So we ended up, like, our main road trip was to Utah, but we ended up going to Cali.
Okay.
But
where was the place that we actually ended up stopping at basically for like a couple of days where we ended up joining up?
We ended up going to Zion.
Okay.
Zion National Park.
And in Zion, we actually ended up doing a couple of hikes. The two hikes names were Angel's Landing and also Subway. It was the back and out trail.
I think that's what it's called, but
somewhere
it's the full trail from top to bottom.
No, it wasn't from top to bottom.
Wait, in Zion?
No, yeah, it was from top to bottom.
Subway, top to bottom. Yeah.
From back to front, that's what it is. Back to front, that's what it was. Because in that trail alone, you actually ended up having to know how to rappel. You actually had to have all the special equipment that you needed for it. So basically, all like the carabiners. You need to, so as I see,
and you couldn't buy tickets to go in. It wasn't free. You had to get permits.
You had to actually win them by lottery.
Yeah.
Funny story about that. The day before, I believe. Yeah, the day before is when we flew in, and that's when me and my brother, and then also this guy named Pocztarski, were actually driving all the way up from Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to Zion, Utah.
Yeah.
And we ended up finding out that we had. What was it? 18 tickets. I think it was 18 or 19, maybe even more tickets. Actually, between five of us, and we only needed five tickets. So we ended up winning the lottery on every single one of us. There was five of us all together in the group, and every single person had about 4 or 5 tickets assigned to them. We actually ended up winning the lottery for every single one of us. So we ended up going to the national park trooper's office, basically, and then giving all the tickets away.
So someone else can benefit from it.
Exactly. Someone else can benefit. They could, if they wanted to do the trail, they could actually do it no matter what. and we actually ended up seeing a couple. What was it? They were brand new. Fiance.
They just got married. Yeah.
No, they didn't. They didn't get married.
They just got engaged.
They just got engaged.
They just got engaged. Yeah.
They came up right behind us. We're just like, oh damn, maybe they. Who knows? They might have even gotten our tickets.
Yeah.
We don't know. We will never know.
Yeah.
But honestly, that was an amazing hike. What else did we do in Silent actually? How was Angel's Landing actually?
Angel's Landing. That was amazing. So we killed it in like what? Like 4 hours, 3.5 hours.
4 hours round trip.
Round trip, there and back. So I think it's like a 4.5, 5 mile round trip, but it's definitely worth. The views, insane. I feel like what do you think it was? Like a 1,500-foot elevation increase?
Maybe. No, I should probably somewhere around
Right,
there.
like probably like 1,500 feet. I think.
I think so too, because in the beginning it was not the no, it was the beginning. The beginning was probably the roughest, because that's when we were going around like the I forgot what it was called, but it was like the swigglies, whatever's.
The switchbacks.
The switchbacks, yes, the switchbacks. That was probably the hardest part for me.
Yeah, because it's like all uphill, like just grind.
Exactly, that's where it's just constantly uphill, just doing turns and basically back around.
Like so, if you're skiing. We're outdoorsy people. We snowboard, but like if you're skiing, it's called like a slalom or some shit like that.
I don't know.
I think it's called a slalom. So it's like when you're going left to right on the mountain.
Okay, then yeah.
So it's pretty much the same thing, but you're going up the mountain.
Yeah.
Instead of going down.
But you're just walking it too. So like, it was really bad on your calves. But that hike alone, either way, like towards the middle of it, actually, it becomes very sketchy to the point where if these poles, if these like not barricades but like fences type of things, but it's not like really fences.
It's a chain system they have.
It was a chain system, yes. It was like poles and then chains like that you could hold on to. If those chains weren't there, you generally would fall off a 1,000-foot drop, 1,011 foot,
dude, at least 1,500,
somewhere around there. Like, honestly, it was crazy. At that point, like obviously you'd be dead, but thankfully those chains were there, and it wasn't that windy either for all of us. It honestly was amazing once we got up to the top. There were chipmunks at the top too as well. Yeah. These chipmunks are very, very, very human friendly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you cannot feed them. Yeah, if you do feed them, you will end up getting a $200 ticket, I believe it is.
It's a big fine. It's a big fine for them.
It's a decent amount of fine. That's
don't feed them, please.
Please don't feed them, because if you do feed them, they're going to become more and more civilized to the point where they're going to rely the food source basically off of us, and then whenever like no people come up there, what are they going to rely on? They will end up dying out. So please,
honestly, I don't even know how they got up there.
No one knows. I don't
know if they go up and down the mountain, but like if I was that chipmunk, I would not go 1,500, 2,000 feet down the mountain
hell no.
to get water or whatever. There's no way.
But the funny thing about that trip, actually, about that hike, was that me and my middle brother actually, at that point, we still had about, 2 weeks? 2 weeks to train for a Spartan race. All the way up in Vernon, Mountain Creek.
Did that
and so me and my middle brother, Nick, actually ran down the mountain. We were in the middle of two of the same group, but we were in the middle of them, actually. It was like these two girls in front of us and these two girls behind us. And basically the entire time we were running right behind them, just like a little, track and field type of thing, basically. Yeah. It was honestly a lot of fun.
I gotta join you guys next year.
What?
I definitely gotta join you guys next year.
100%. Honestly.
You guys got that medals? The nice medals?
We did. But that's like, once we get another, 2 or 3, no, 2 more. 2 more after that, we'll have the whole entire trifecta.
Because the Spartan if you guys want to hear about the Spartan race, we could talk about it in a different episode.
Spartan race is
fully in depth.
Very difficult, especially if you don't train for it as much as we did. Because we didn't even train at all. We honestly did not train.
Yeah, you guys just went for it. But I mean, you guys had a lot of training, to me at least.
Hiking
like,
wise, yes, we have
trails.
A lot of training. Yeah, for trails wise, yes. We do have a lot of training for that. But besides that, we really did not train going up to the actual event, which is where we really messed up.
Yeah.
Because it was very difficult, especially the end part. So for Spartan races, if you don't know, we did the smallest amount, which is a 5K, which is about 3 miles, I believe.
I have no idea.
The beginning part is a constant jog uphill. At that point, halfway through like the uphill, probably 3/4 honestly, is when me and my brother actually become like starting to become dead. We didn't know this till the start of the race. We were held to the standards of the elite players, to the point where we can't help each other out. Like up. If you help someone out, you will be disqualified.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, oh, okay, we did not know this.
Yeah.
And so we're just like, okay, so we can't help each other out. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna stick by each other though. We did not help each other out the entire way. And that entire race, doing all the obstacles, running as much as we could until our breath actually gave out, was very difficult, especially the end part. The end part, you actually ended up having to those Home Depot jugs, basically like the plastic jugs that like you could pour paint in, whatever that. Basically, one of those jugs filled with rocks. You have to go around a certain course, throw the jug down onto whatever, either give it to the next person or just throw it down into like the area. Then straight right after that, you actually have to climb up what I think it's like a 15-foot rope. Either you have to know the technique, either using like a J hook, that's what like it's supposed to be called, or you just use your arms. I learned about the J hook before then, but I never actually attempted it. And so as soon as it got to that point, I tried it. I was just like, okay, I generally don't know how to do this, so I just use my arms.
Yeah.
So I get all the way up to the top. I ring the bell because that's what you're supposed to do at the end of like every single obstacle.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to end up doing 30 burpees, and I end up ringing it. I get to the bottom finally. I don't drop myself 15 feet because obviously I'm not trying to break my legs. And as soon as I get to the bottom, maybe 20 feet away is the next obstacle. Next obstacle, you have to actually drag a rope back so you can lift up I think it's about a 40-pound. You weren't there, but it was about a 40-pound bag of sand. The same exact way that you're climbing up the rope for the 15 feet, you have to do the same exact thing for a 40-pound bag. And you have to grab it. Your arms are shot from the rocks, from carrying it behind your back. Your arms are already shot from that. Then you have to climb yourself up 15 feet. Your arms are even more shot from that. Yeah. And once you get to the 40-pound bag, at that point, you generally don't feel like you could do it, but you generally have to push through it.
You have to. Yeah, it's a fight. So
it's literally a fight. It is a fight. That's why it's called a Spartan.
You're a Spartan.
Because now I'm considered as a warrior because I actually ended up doing it. I did the entire thing, pushing it back, leaning back, my whole entire body, pulling it against the same exact thing, just kept on doing repetition and ended up actually doing it. And finally, obviously, since we didn't train, we did not get into the high grades of it, but we did end up finishing past half, basically.
Which is really good for the first time doing it.
For the first time doing it, no training, no nothing. Yeah. Honestly, I'm very proud of myself. I am very proud of myself.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Okay, so we got to go back to topic. We get off the topic, by the way, really quickly.
We love to talk. That's our thing.
Sometimes.
That's our thing.
Okay, so what made us do this?
What made us do this? So you hit me up one day and we're like, all right, we're making a podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we are making a podcast.
100%.
And we did.
And
this is it.
I don't know if I already told you guys about this, by the way. Also, by the way, this is our third time recording this, so I generally don't remember what I said inside this video and the other videos. Might as well bring that up because I don't know if I'm repeating myself or not. Okay. But did I say this part actually? That I was on the podcast about 2 weeks ago?
You did.
Okay, so I already did say that part. It was the 2D part, whatever. And that's when I just text him, just like, come on, let's do this. And then he completely agreed to it. I was just like, why not? Might as well.
Might as well do it.
Okay, since we already talked about that, what are we planning to do?
All right, so we're planning on having a bunch of features of people. So we're planning on having a campaign member voting for Congress.
Yes, but
in a few weeks.
Keep that a little bit.
It's on the low.
It's on the low.
In a few weeks.
It's not guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed. But that's on our plan.
Yes.
And whoever wants to come out, just shoot a comment on Instagram. Our Instagram's what? Lux_pod.
Lux_podcast.
On Instagram or on YouTube, whatever you guys are listening to. Just shoot us a comment, and we'll get to it.
Exactly. So basically, we have a very good amount of podcasts lined up, that at least we're planning on.
We're planning on having
nothing is
a lot
honestly,
of guests.
obviously, like set in stone because everything can honestly change no matter what in the blink of an eye. But the amount of podcasts that we do have set, there are a very good amount of prominent names, I want to say, at least in our area that we know of.
That
have a very decent following that most people.
We're trying to get a lot of people out on this.
We're trying to get a good amount of people at least on this podcast.
Yeah.
Obviously, regular people will be on this podcast too. Talk about their lives, talk about the interview them, basically what they're doing.
Yeah, we love everyone.
What their theories are, what they're thinking, everything in between.
We love everyone. If you're a normal person, if you're in between, if you're famous, listen, to us, all people are all the same. Like, no matter what.
No bias. Bias.
We're not biased by any means. We love everybody. And listen, if you want to be on this show yourself, just drop a comment.
Like, generally, even
That's
as
what it is.
Even as our description says, basically, so we want to talk about anything and everything, past or present, morally or unmorally correct, and the seeing of both political sides. We generally want to have honestly, it's nothing is ever going to be unbiased.
Yeah.
There's no way.
We're just trying
obviously.
to have a genuine conversation.
We want to genuinely have as much of a look between every single side, no matter what.
Yeah, we want
what
input,
it is.
and then we want to do everything.
We want the input from every single side, no matter what. So we can have our own opinions. You guys can have your own opinions. And
comments.
Basically, have your own opinions, comments, whatever you guys want, basically. And you guys will get to pick what you guys want to believe in. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's, at this point, it's your podcast. We have everything, honestly, yes. But it is your podcast. You get to believe on what you want to believe in. We are just here to get the questions out, to get...
Or the message out.
Get the information out. The message and the information out.
So when are we posting?
We are posting every single Monday morning, actually. Yeah. The reason why we are doing this is because we believe that most people are more likely to listen to at least these podcasts or like these chats, whatever you want to call them, going to work, going to school, going to run errands, anything and everything basically, rather than the weekends. Because we know, like, we are humans obviously too. We know that weekends are mostly preoccupied with already previous things that have already been planned.
Things, parties,
whatever, anything and everything. Basically,
with.
Everything is already preoccupied. And then most people on Monday mornings, they're driving to work. Okay, they're listening to the same exact radio station, or they're listening to the same exact songs, no matter what, over the Bluetooth.
We're not those people.
And we are honestly just trying to change that. If you want to listen to us, you can listen to us. We're not going to force you. Whatever you want to do, this is on your own free will. We don't want to force anyone, basically. Like, even if you come on the podcast, this podcast is a non-cancellation zone. No matter what you say,
whatever
you can say
talk about.
It's your own opinion. We won't say anything. Okay? We
don't
have
judge.
Comments.
We don't discriminate.
We don't
nothing.
judge. We don't discriminate or anything like that. We will have our comments, yes, but those comments will mostly come as questions
to, opinion, whatever,
to expand basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
So if you generally do want to be on the podcast, or you do have questions, or you want to suggest someone on the podcast, either just comment on whatever platform you're actually listening on, because we have YouTube, we have Spotify, we have Apple Music, but we also do have the Instagram. Instagram is that Lux LUX_podcast. So you get to pick either on the Instagram. You can either comment anything you want, like you want a question you want to ask us, we either answer it inside the comments, or we will answer it onto the next podcast. Or you want to basically just say a topic, okay? State the topic. We have a decent amount of topics already lined up, but guess what? If we read your topic and it is generally better than the ones that we already have selected, we'll probably switch it. And who knows? Your topic might actually be the one that's actually ended up becoming an episode. Or even after that, after you commit basically what topic it is, and you actually say that you want to be on the podcast, we'll reach out to you. We'll get you on the podcast. We'll get you on the show. Basically, we're trying to get anyone and everyone on. Doesn't matter who you are, famous or not, it doesn't matter. We generally want to get everyone on this podcast. We want to
talk to every group.
We want everyone to have a voice. Everyone to have a voice, no matter what. So like as I was saying, just comment on our Instagram, comment on our YouTube. Who knows? If you want, even send us an email. There probably is a way to find our email at this point. I generally remember it. But basically, just send us anything, any type of message,
What's our email?
and we will get back to you as much as we can.
Our email is what? Lux Podcast?
No, I think it's the Lux Podcast.
The Lux Podcast
at gmail.com. It might be that. It might be something else. I'm not really sure.
Right.
But we'll see where it goes from there, honestly. We don't know, honestly. Because we do still have we
have other intentions, I feel like, in this podcast.
Yes.
And we already have stuff planned. We're planning on making this a seasonal thing. 12 episodes per season. So what, per year, 4 seasons? That's easily, our plan.
Somewhere around there, yeah. And at the end of each episode, at least on YouTube, we are going to be gathering all the funny parts. So basically, if you ever seen a video that we are all laughing, a compilation type of thing. Yeah. If you see in the video that we are all laughing, whatever, we're going to compile everything all together at the end of all seasons and release a video just like that as well, just so everyone could have a laugh. Hopefully you guys believe that it's all funny too. Like, we're all here for funny games.
We're all here to vibe together.
We're all here to vibe together. We're all here to have a great time no matter what. We're not here to cause contradictions, to cause problems, to cause anything like that. We are here to have a good time. Ready? We're here for a good time, not a long time. That's basically our motto for this. And at that point, we'll see you next week. Thank you for listening.
Out podcast.